Hey everybody, it's Shadowstar and Crystal here for another review of The Flash. This time, we're starting Season 3.
And it's the beginning of the crappiest thing they do.
This season, okay, here's the thing. As you can tell, the title is called Flashpoint. Most comic fans will know that Flashpoint in the comics is supposed to be a huge moment similar to Crisis where it changes everything. So you would expect that, oh, we're doing Flashpoint. Except not. All we get is this lousy timeline that lasts one day, one episode, and then we're fixing it. And then that's about it.
Well, yeah, he has to fix it because his memories are changing.
Yeah, I know that.
And Wally died.
Yes, I know that, but in a real Flashpoint, they stay in that timeline for a long time, and there's a lot of things that change. But here, meh.
Well, you see, Flashpoint can refer to that new timeline, or it can also refer to the changes made when he tries to fix things, but as we've just seen at the end of the episode, some things are not quite the same.
Okay, we'll get into what those changes are next episode, but prepare to be disappointed. It's not Crisis-level changes, that's for sure. Oh, God. But, okay, this episode, it's a case of, it's the age-old battle of boring versus messy. It's not a boring episode, that's for sure, but it's definitely a messy one.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, let's talk plus side. Matt Letcher is here. You know I love him as a Reverse Flash. I enjoy his Reverse Flash, and it's a shame we don't get to see him on the Flash more. We will be seeing him more soon, though, but that's a story for another day that I can't wait for. But, yeah, at least he's here. That he's the most fun part of this whole episode. But there's just so many aspects of the timeline that make no sense. Okay, I can excuse Wally having powers because we know the Speed Force is sentient, and it's beyond timelines. Maybe it just gave Wally powers because there needs to be a Flash. That part I can excuse. All the other changes make no sense. Why wouldn't this... It makes this crazy, weird timeline where Cisco's in charge and all these people do weird things, but wouldn't it just resemble the original Season 1 timeline?
That's what I always thought. Wouldn't Flashpoint be similar
to the timeline we heard about? Yeah.
that Reverse Flash is from? Because it's a timeline where he did not kill his mother.
Exactly, which means Harrison Wells should still have Star Labs, or at least he hasn't turned on the accelerator yet, so he should still be building it. You know, where is Harrison Wells?
Yeah, I know. He didn't kill him yet.
Why is Cisco in charge? It doesn't make any sense. Shouldn't it? Yeah, shouldn't it just...
If we were further in the future, I would understand, okay, Cisco kept getting promoted, he got higher up and bought out Star Labs. But we're not further in the future. We know what year the real Harrison Wells is supposed to make the particle accelerator.
Yeah, but even then, he's got to build the Star Labs, which would presumably still be being built. It wasn't built by Cisco and then he just took it over. I would have assumed the building itself was created because of Harrison Wells, not the building existed and somehow Cisco took over. I mean, maybe it was like that, but that makes no sense.
Yeah.
There was never any mention of that. But whatever, I get it. They had to shoehorn in Cisco into the episode. I get that. Cisco and Caitlin had to be shoehorned in. I mean, Caitlin did jack all. We just had to shoehorn her into the episode. I get it. But
I know. Barry's just like, oh, someone's missing. Better go kidnap Caitlin.
I know. That made no sense. And then Joe barely contributes anything to this episode. Half the characters do nothing. They're just here because they're contractually obligated to appear in the episode. Whatever. And then at the end... The timeline, okay, so at the end, Reverse Flash takes Barry back. The Reverse Flash we've been watching, kills Nora. That's not what should happen. What he should have done is went back in time, knocked out the Season 2 Barry, taken him out of the picture, and then the original Reverse Flash gets back up off the ground and finishes what he started.
Yeah.
Then all the future Flashes and Reverse Flashes fade out, and it reverts back to Season 1 when, you know, he's going to kill Nora, get stuck in the past, become Reverse Flash. But instead, he fades out of existence, even though he's supposed...
Why would a younger one fade?
He fades out of existence, but he's got to go become Harrison Wells. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I know. We need Harrison Wells. And sure, at this point, if we didn't have future knowledge, we could assume that the slightly older Reverse Flash goes and becomes Harrison Wells. But we know he doesn't.
we know he does it, and the knowledge of what happens with this future one, there's still a bit of a plot hole, but we'll worry about that when we see him next. But look, the Reverse Flash timeline never makes any sense.
Yeah.
We've known that for day one, but it just keeps getting messier and messier.
It only gets worse because I'm not going to spoil too much, but we're going to see him again, and he will use this episode here as a reason for why he exists.
Yeah.
But then we defeat him, and then he's going to show up again, and he won't even try to explain why he exists.
We will, but that's a whole different story. I was going to point out, no, we'll save it for another episode. There was a way weirder plot hole regarding what experiences this new Reverse Flash should have lived with. Because, okay, that's the thing. He's a remnant, because he doesn't go live the B. Harrison Wells life. He's a remnant, but we'll worry about that later.
Oh, yeah, because later on he mentions something, and it's like, but you didn't do that.
It doesn't make any sense. Whatever, we get a new villain, the Rival, and we get to see he still exists in our timeline. Which, I don't know, that's the only cliffhanger we have. He still exists and somebody writes
Well, I mean, the guy himself still exists.
Yeah. The guy himself still exists, but other than the minor changes that have come, this episode barely achieved anything. It's so weird. Again, this should have been...
What I want to know is, in Flashpoint, how did Iris and Joe find out about Wally?
That doesn't make any sense either. Yeah.
Actually, no, it could have been similar. Francine could have showed up and said, hi, I'm dying.
It could have, but that means they've only known each other for a year, but they act like they've been... I mean, we don't know how long he's been in Flash, but it feels like they know each other way more, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, it also doesn't explain why Joe's a mess.
Oh, I got an idea. We don't know how long he's been the Flash, right? Maybe years ago, he did that story he said with the car and the lightning and became the Flash, and then Iris runs around chasing the Flash and finds out who he is.
That's actually... You know what? That's a clever idea. She finds out before she was originally supposed to learn about Wally. Yeah, that makes sense. They didn't explain it, but that's a good theory, at least.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it doesn't make any sense.
No.
All this stuff, it's so messy. Why is Cisco in charge of Star Labs? Why is any of this happening? That's not how timelines work. And,
Even worse is the changes in this new timeline where, for some reason, we get back and he says, where's Iris? And Wally says, hey, they don't talk anymore.
Well,
why?
I can explain why those changes exist next episode.
Okay.
Well, actually, I can explain why they exist this episode. There's one anomaly. It's not just the fact that it's not just the fact that he's fixed his mother. But think about this. Okay, so he saves he goes back, kills his mother, then they stand outside and they say, okay, I wonder what'll happen next time. Then Barry pops back into the future, but we don't know what the Reverse Flash did. He could have been in the past even longer. It's a butterfly effect. We don't know how he did it, but somehow, I don't know, whatever he did could have caused minute changes.
Yeah, I know. Barry had him right there. Why didn't he do something?
Why didn't he take him? He's done the job, and as we said, this guy's not going to go be Harrison Wells, so what is he here for? Barry could still take him away.
Yeah.
Oh, well. But he wants to go live his life. He doesn't want to have to babysit Reverse Flash forever.
I know, he kept him as a pet.
Doesn't make any sense, but the only redeeming quality is Reverse Flash himself, because I enjoy him as a character.
Yeah.
But I'll give this an 8.
Really?
I'll give it a 7.5. I'll give it a 7.5.
I had a 6.5.
Yeah, what a mess it is. What a mess. Season 3 isn't this bad. We'll get into Season 3. It's not nearly as weird, but there's some weirdness. But we'll worry about that weirdness next time. What is the next episode called?
Paradox.
Don't get me started on all the paradoxes. Oh god, timelines. Whatever. We'll see you next time for more Flash and other things as well. See you next time, guys.